Public involvement. Is it a noun or a verb? At Seattle City Light, it's both. Public involvement, the noun, means citizen committees, outreach, forums, newsletters, and public meetings. These are all part of Seattle City Light's public involvement program. Public involvement, the verb, means participating and making recommendations on a variety of issues that affect the customers of Seattle City Light.
Public participation, I think, ensures an opportunity for the agency to have an immediate feedback from citizens.
If I own something, I want to know all I can about it. Public involvement works because the public owns City Light, and they ought to be in on what takes place.
Public involvement is a process by which the public can help influence decisions before they are made.
You can see from working within the Toxics Advisory Group the impact you have on City Light from a common sense viewpoint of what the public perceives and staff sometimes won't perceive. And we've been able to give advice on how to go about involving the public on major toxics decisions that the public might otherwise get quite angry about if they're handled wrong.
As a department of the city, City Light is responsible to the mayor and the city council. These officials are committed to public participation.
Because we exist as service, not the masters. We're the servants of the people. We do the thing that they want and they feel that makes the city better.
Under the guidance of J.D. Ross, an early Seattle City Light superintendent, Seattle City Light and the reality of public power in the Northwest grew. In 1902, the people of Seattle established one of the first municipally owned utilities in the United States. The citizens took it upon themselves to fight the monopolies and rising rates of private electric companies. And out of that struggle, City Light was created. J.D. Ross understood the value of public involvement. He organized perhaps the very first Citizens Committee with a group known as the Friends of City Light. Granted, the gathering was probably more to garner political support, but it also worked as a forum to get information to and feedback from the people. Seattle City Light has grown tremendously since 1902, from a single customer and a pair of small generators to thousands of customers and numerous generation facilities. And public involvement has grown too. Organized citizen involvement began in the early 1970s. Public meetings and advisory committees were the mainstay of that program, addressing policy issues, rate increases, and other energy-related topics. In 1976, public involvement became official. The Seattle City Council passed Resolution 25387, which defined the public involvement responsibilities of all city departments, including City Light. Now, citizen committees, outreach, forums, and public meetings comprise the backbone of the public involvement program at Seattle City Light. These committees are influential. Some committees are appointed by the mayor and approved by the city council. Others are appointed by the City Light superintendent. The members represent diverse points of view, and together they strive for a consensus when they make their recommendations. The process is thoughtful and deliberate. Therefore, the mayor and the city council pay attention to these recommendations. An example of an influential committee is the Rates Advisory Committee, formed every 2 years for each utility rates review. Over the years, this committee has made outstanding recommendations that have influenced policy decisions. Recently, the city council called for a major productivity study of Seattle City Light at the urging of the 1988 and 89 rates committees. Their recommendation was based on the belief that rates could be kept down if the utility functioned more efficiently. Public involvement also works because of a dedicated staff of City Light employees that get the information out. When City Light considered building a dam and powerhouse at Copper Creek, the public involvement program went into action. Public input and the frank discussion on the committee level led to a recommendation to cancel the project. Here again, the mayor and city council listened, and the Copper Creek proposal was shelved. Committees take a great deal of time and effort on the part of citizens that choose to be involved. Many different people get involved, and for all kinds of reasons.
The citizens advisory groups at City Light, from my perspective as a consumer advocate and someone working on quality of life issues, I get to see all the time how the city council and the utility itself relies upon that citizen input in order to get an assessment of where the city stands.
It's a good way to get to know your city. I was not at all familiar with anything that had to do with utilities or electric rates, and the issues spread over. It isn't just whether or not you're going to have a rate increase next year, but it's planning for the future for the community.
The committee can be a generous one. Some groups meet only once a month, some once a week over a year-long period. But the rewards of public involvement are great. It is a rare opportunity to participate in city government at such an influential level without being a politician.
I believe we can make a difference. We can voice our opinion directly to the council, and the council can act upon our recommendations. And I think that's a real powerful way to make a difference.
The citizens of Seattle can feel proud of the success of the public involvement program at Seattle City Light. It is considered a model for other utilities across the country. When people in Seattle get involved, they do make a difference.
If there's some concern on the part of any citizen about what is happening to the various units of government that we have, then I think it's incumbent upon the citizen to become involved. And whether they think that they're going to be heard or not is beside the point. I think if you get involved and make yourself heard is the real issue.
I don't know of any other city that takes quite as much interest in involving their citizens as Seattle does. And it's easy to become involved. So I'd encourage anyone who's interested to do so.
During the past decade, twice Seattle has been considered the best city to live in the country. And that means that every department of the city has to be doing an extra special job. That means every resident of the city is part of that. Therefore, public involvement makes this person proud of the city he lives in, and he makes the people who work for it proud of the place they work. And therefore, we get a better product in every respect.